estamos contentos, alegres, de verdad, para los dueños de Tosa Blue Mountain. Esta ayuda que están dando, están dejando su corazón en eso, están dejando todo su poder, su valentía, sus esfuerzos. Entonces ellos tratan de que todas las personas tengan un poquito y tengan una mejor calidad de vida, un poquito de...
Grateful to be here with you in this moment. And thank you, Jess, for preparing that wonderful video. So much happening.
Well, and beloved ones, thank you for being here at the Voice of Passionate Action. Kira and I are celebrating you. We're celebrating Global Minga. And as you witnessed in this little film that was just shared, 2 housing projects have come to just 99% complete.
We are so close. And, you know, I don't know if you guys all saw that gray bar against the text at the bottom, but what that was sharing with you is that we are so close, but we are literally $1,800 short on the second house. So if you're sleeping in a bed at night and there's no rain on you, if you actually have a bathroom, even $1 helps us get this house done. Every day that we are short of funds, we cannot finish the second home. And we are so grateful that Maria and Rosa have both found such joy through you, Global Minga. This is why we come together.
Absolutely. And we hope that you enjoyed those glimpses. These are folks that had nothing, and now they are able to have stability in their lives. So go to ShriandKira.com, click on Global Minga, follow your heart. We stay connected.
And that's what today, you know, that's what September is all about. So I don't know about you guys, but are you already feeling the heat? And I'm not talking about that summer heat. I'm talking about that heat from the universe. It's that moment where, and I want you to bring your hands to your heart. I'm going to turn on another light so that Shri and I can see my, at the last minute, we had to flip to this room. So forgive us, we were still setting up. So number one, as your hand is to your heart right now, in this moment, right? Close your eyes, if it's safe to do so. And we're going to take an Ave Sa breath. We're going to go in on 4 counts on the Ave, and we're going to slowly exhale that Sa on 4 counts as well. And we're going to do that 3 times without stopping. Going in. Ave. Ave. Bringing our hands to our heart and receiving the blessing of knowing we are just about at the finish line, that will offer humanity a 2023 and potentially even ignite the stability of a few more years beyond that. We are actually at the moment where we are able to consciously affect this potentiality and the rollout of what's happening. However, and with all my heart, as we are so close to the finish line, and the finish line is actually September 20 through 25. That's why we're with Peace Week. That's why we're together. That's why we're holding arms and physically being with each other, right? But to get there right now means that even though we see it, even though we know it's there, what we're also seeing is record numbers of people dropping. Record numbers of those that are saying, I'm just too tired, I can't take it anymore. And realizing that Einstein was right. To continue trying to recreate our lives in the way that we have been doing for even another second is the definition of, and I'm going to add a word, density sanity. Density sanity right now will do everything in its power to stop you. And later in today's broadcast, we're going to talk about judgment and the rising judgment and what that means and what Judgment Day is. Because the September energy that we're getting ready to show you is so profound that it is why Global Minga, it's why we opened with Global Minga. We are transforming into a way of being. What if our form of government was Global Minga? What if we took our model from the villages we're living in that are doing really well, right? What if the elders came together in council outside of ego and said yes, as a collaboration of that which is now? Because Shri and I are standing here in the integrity of that. And I will share with you that there is virtually no one else we have found yet that has the integrity or has not been bought and paid for, and thereby is unwilling to sit at the table of the new world. And September is calling you all out. And my husband's calling me out and saying, stop, I've got to talk.
I want to add to this.
Please, because this is a big show and we have a lot to share. Settle in and start putting your comments. If you're over there at YouTube, Jess is getting those to us as soon as they come in. So we want to hear from you.
So beloved ones, it's important to recognize that we are the council.
All of us, not Shri and I,
all
of us.
You who are gathered here. Your energy is the contributing, synergistic, alchemical addition to the collective experience.
And you're brave enough to have the courage to be you.
And
to just be authentic.
And so to think that the world's taking care of itself is to be in denial. It's not that we need to be preoccupied.
No.
It's simply that we need to occupy ourselves with authentic being.
Oh, feel that.
There's a difference between watching a pot boil and simply being with the water.
Yeah.
To be with this planet, to be with your sacred presence. What we are just articulating this differently. I'm hoping to reach out and inspire each and every one of you to recognize that you are the missing link. You are the one that is carrying the love, the presence, the authenticity, which will knit together that which has been separated and polarized.
Exactly.
It's not about looking at the problems, it's about being the unifying energy. It's about being. Stop right there. You can add another adjective or noun if you want, but it is simply about each and every breath coming back to I am.
Yes.
And then listening to your heart, listening to your wisdom, and the two walk together in concert into action.
Woo, who, and who. And so bringing that hand back to your heart, connecting back to that slow, perfect balance Ave Saw, and really focus on that 4 in on the Ave, 4 out on the Saw, 4 in on the Ave, 4 out on the Saw. Really call that one in. If that's the only thing you get from today, then call that one in. All right. But focusing in on that brings us to today in the global heartbeat of Minga, as we are counting down to Peace Week, as we are getting ready to ignite, as we are literally, the word is on a collision course with a destiny that no one's going to stop, but many can self-opt, meaning we all see it. It's right there. Imagine right now, everything you've ever dreamed of, the greatest vision, all of it, what you have known, what you have worked so hard for, what you might have sacrificed for, what you might have studied about, what you might have had to break through things for, all of it is right in front of you. But the strength and the force that is carrying, which is unlike any it has ever had before, is being met equally by the strength and the force of that which is absolutely the opposite of that. And unless you are, and I mean courageous enough to really be authentic enough to look at you and really go within and notice where you give yourself permission to stop. Notice where you give yourself permission to excuse. Notice where the victim, rescuer, abuser is you. to really notice that right now rather than succumb to it. The moment of the blame, shame game is peaking. And remember, it's August 20, opened that Mercury retrograde portal that needs to get us to September 20, and we're not assured yet. That's why we're here opening these 30 days, because more of this potentiality of consciousness is needing to discover how to, with integrity and lack of ulterior motive, highlight, underline, because that's not out there, guys. Sri and I have tried to find it. So other than what we're doing. So without the greed and the ulterior motive, right? Right now, consciousness is needing to up level quickly. And this is why these 30 days, the heartbeat of peace is an ignition. It's an energy. And I want to bring you the first share of the day. I want to bring you to where we were yesterday. So remember, and I hope you were at our amazing panel last night. It was just extraordinary. Really talking about, this has been the journey of the past 8 days. If I pray you've all been with us, go to Official Sri and Kira Facebook, live every day at 6 o'clock. There's a group. It's getting incredible. The momentum is amazing because everyone's lifting.
Yes.
Right? So yesterday was that 7th chakra opening, stabilizing the star consciousness and the cosmic prime meridians, which we're going to talk about in a moment, that bring us to right now. And Sri, talk to us. Here we are. We're at the 8th lotus chakra today. And it's because we've been lifting. We're breaking free of the chains that say we need to throw our cords into a planet that's saying, help me. So let us lift her, not throw our garbage into her. Sri, bring us here today, because today is all about that self-ascended presence and form. And yes, that's a biggie. You know, it's the top, it's that moment. And so help us understand more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I want to do is offer just a little bit of review to bring us into context, because it's important to recognize that your chakras are the essence of your being in form.
Yeah.
No chakras, no being. Is that simple?
It really is the truth.
Okay. Now, the chakras are a gift from the divine. They are pure energy that then becomes conditioned by consciousness.
Yes.
So consciousness plus energy equals form, equals a result. Energy alone, hey, it's electric. Consciousness alone, I'm watching. Energy plus consciousness creates. Okay. So let's talk for a moment about the first chakra. In the course of trusting your divine nature, trusting the divine, the first chakra, instead of being grounded in a circular orbit looking for safety, looking for belonging.
And we're going to give you the graphic again too.
It moves back into a figure 8, which is the balanced energy of peace. So safety becomes peace. And that anchors right there in your pelvis. That's where that first chakra is. So guess what? Your whole body is now residing in a state of beingness that's connected to your divine nature. Breathe that in. As I trust my divine nature, my physical form comes to peace and my emotional body also quiets.
And so moving through this rapidly so we can get you to those ascension revelations, because they tie into this. What Sri has just shown you, and look at the bottom there, is the foundation is peace. That's what the heartbeat of peace. That's what global minga is. Imagine if the whole world could find their root chakra in peace.
Where we all belong.
Exactly. And then from there we lift.
Absolutely, we lift. And so the second chakra is less about sexuality, it's more about universal love. The third chakra moves out of power over and becomes empowered beingness, and which is joy.
Right? It goes peace, love, joy. And you know, this is what Archangel Zadkiel made so clear in our first book, Sacred Union, The Journey Home, which I pray you've read, because when we stabilize peace, only then can the love that is outside of the emotional really the emotional vulnerability be transcended. And when that love comes forward from within, we are able to stabilize our joy, thereby anchoring our heart. And when we anchor our heart, we're going to show you another graphic right now, because this is where we're going. Oh my God, this is the next 12 days. But you see right here, that's that ascended heart that we just anchored for the first time.
Yeah.
And what's happening tomorrow, because today we're anchoring the center of what the archangelic realm calls right here, the exploded crown chakra. But today we're anchoring that lotus in the middle. And that's really going to be important, because what's going to happen tomorrow is we're going to go right back to that heart chakra, but we're going back to it in its ascended state to support that peace, love, and joy. Now, why is that so important in September? Well, let's go to the calendar. You ready? Take a hand to your heart. Shree's preparing you. Take a hand to your heart, and there it is. If you go ahead and take a look, you will see that it's all about what? Judgment Day. It's Judgment Day. It is all about releasing judgment. And like I mentioned, we had a lot to share about this in the second half of the show. And when we release judgment, it means we can honestly anchor in the seventh dimension. It means that we've let go of the judgment so that the third of the fourth harmonic flow can anchor. And this is why it is such an intense time. This is why it is so challenging, because it's predicated on the releasing of judgment. And so it's just so beautiful. And when you look at September, and when you look at the month, and when you look at everything about September, I want you to first look at this Thursday. And you'll notice that there's these arms. Do you see that beautiful, beautiful free angel in that kind of like, what would I call it? The chalice position, right?
Yeah,
arms
both
wide
arms
open,
up, yeah.
right? Both arms open. And just take a look, and you'll notice that her arms are already up. They've been up since last week. You see her hand dipped in last Monday, and tomorrow her presence of weaving begins. And so this is very much the month of weaving it into creation, bringing it all into balance. The pyramid is the focus. The energy is the focus. Remember, it was that August 20, September 20, leading us to October 20. And if you look at the second, you see the hand is in the energy of the full moon experience. The full moon of this September is manifestation. It's the waves, it's pouring in, and it's the beginning entry of the storm that will be 2023. It's all starting this month. And so when those hands go out and they're weaving, and this month of full manifestation, it's all coming together. What wouldn't you do to ride this out?
Yes.
Or is laying down your arms and letting the ego win and letting all that's ever been more important? Because there has never been a more valuable moment to expand, a more extraordinarily exquisite moment. And Shree, before I get to the amazing amount of comments that we have here, I really want to bring it to the miracle of the pyramid. Because remember, as global minga, right? As global minga, we are the new world in action. We don't sit and talk about it, we do it. We have a visionary committee coming forward, a beautiful group of collaborators on Global Minga that will be shepherding what we pray will be many, many worldwide projects and a much greater expanded presence for Global Minga. The Pyramid Project is part of Global Minga, because it's Global Minga brought to ground. And Shree, I know we had a whole bunch of photos. They didn't seem to make it into the movie. Can we hear about what's going on?
Sure, let me give you a quick update.
We are consecrating September 22, and what's going on over here is like, oh my God, I wish I could show it to you.
One of the things that is important to remember is that mankind has been in a repetitive pattern.
Right?
For centuries, for thousands of years.
Oh, eons.
And as the pattern begins to hit the threshold of a true ascension experience, of lifting beyond the repetition, a few beings pop and the rest seem to cycle back in and go through this cycle again.
And it's cool. Right?
And it's just the nature of things. You know, we learn through repetition, do we
Exactly.
not? And so if you'd like to learn more about that, go visit the Lost Books of the Essene at shreeakira.com. But the piece I want to share with you about the pyramid is this pyramid is the aspect ratio that lifts out of density. It penetrates the fear dimension. It penetrates the planetary thought body.
It does.
And it penetrates right through the astral. So the frequency of this pyramid is a direct connector to the ascended energy.
Yes.
Now,
Yes, and yes.
and so what's going on here at Tosa Blue Mountain is important for the world. It's important for all of us because as you connect with this pyramid and this frequency, you are inviting your spiritual DNA to come online instead of hang out in the background.
Exactly.
So where we are today on the whole construction process is
Whoa.
this pyramid is made out of bamboo. Bamboo are the bones. That's the structural piece. And the bamboo piece, they're just in the final touches of trimming the edges and getting it all ready because the skin is going to go on the pyramid next week.
It's arrived. Like that,
So-
and like the pyramid, the top, like the next time you see it, right? When is that going to get done?
Yeah, that may take a week.
Like we're right here.
So what's happening is you know
The
how when
energy
you're
is what's
building a
happening.
house, there's a certain point where it seems like it just keeps going, and then all of a sudden, boom! Oh, it looks almost done. We're coming up on that moment, and so the skin is starting to go on next week, and then there will be a capstone of pure, beautiful glass that's going to
And
the very
it's
top
incredible.
with a crystal top.
And the energy is nuts. And the one thing that I will try to get some video for you this week is these beautiful men have been working literally sunrise to sundown. They're putting in 12 hours a day, 3 different tribes. There must have been 10 people. Remember, there's no electricity being used by choice. This thing is so pure. They are up there hand sawing this bamboo that came from this incredible sustainable forest. We have video of the forest. I hope to bring us all there because it's right here in Ecuador. So again, Global Minga is saying, are you ready to reach beyond the one self that you are and be part of the one that is here to expand and support the consciousness evolution? And it's a really good self-inquiry question because it does invite what's left to kind of come forward. So we're getting a lot of comments. And before we go into the next segment, which you want to hold on because we've got very powerful ascended numerology. We need to dive deep into this whole judgment conversation and the fear dimension. And you, of course, want to keep sending your comments. But Shri, we have so many beautiful, maybe just say hello. We want to just say hi and acknowledge some of you right away.
Okay.
Right there. There we
All
are.
right. So Sarah writes, love the manifestations of Global Minga, the parallel of Rosa and Maria's homes being a reality as our individual collective homes are becoming a reality.
Yes. And sincerely help us get her into her home. When we were up there and I could not write a check that day, it was painful. And so let's get her in there, guys. Let's get her in there.
Yeah, we're right.
We're
so
right
close,
there,
so close.
$1,800, just what does your heart want to offer?
All right, Dia writes, Namaste, dearest Tosa family. Namaste. I am really thrilled and delighted to be seeing some of you soon on the land. I'm arriving the 19th of September. Yay, love and love.
Well, Dia, when you get here, one of the things that we're going to be doing is bringing all of you up to Doog. And we also have some special treats going on up there and help all of you meet some of these people in real time. And I love that. And, a lot of people, Shri, I want to take just 1 second since she mentioned the land.
Yeah.
Just this morning, do you have that picture on your phone?
Which one?
The one we took of the rocks.
Oh.
Okay, you're not going to see this really well because we're going to put it into the camera, but seniority grade. No, just pull it up. We're going to show the phone.
Okay,
no,
we'll try
we're
it.
just going to do it easy.
Sure.
This way.
Let me find
Find one. That's one.
That
There you go.
one?
Either one.
Oops.
I don't care. Just one. So what we found was Senior Tigre has been back on the land and has started bringing out the Wonka stones. And it's this
Turn
light.
that
Hold
light
on.
on.
There we go. Try that.
Just
This way, maybe. So you can't, my camera and my office aren't going to work here, guys. But what we've done is carved these incredible stones that he has done. And it's really quite, you're not going to be, it's okay.
Sorry.
It's really quite extraordinary. And the reason we're bringing it up for you also is we do want to let you know that we are accepting applications. We already have more applications than we actually have land for. But if you have not received this PDF, Sue, Jess, somebody, maybe let's get the link up or tell people where they can find this PDF. But right here at Tosa Blue Mountain, many of you may not know that we have 4 beautiful, gorgeous pieces of land, very detailed here, where it's literally resort living, where you are literally living at Tosa Blue Mountain, but it's your own home or it's your own investment home or your own retirement home, whatever. But the land here and those stones we just showed you were literally in your backyard. And so part of the trail system. So if you have any interest in really saying, you know, maybe I want to build my retirement home now and then have somebody rent it the whole time and, you know, do that. Maybe I want to, it's extremely affordable, but we're really looking for 4 collaborators or one collaborator. There's 4 parcels. It's, you know, however that would come down. So feel into your heart, because this is that once in a lifetime opportunity to be a part of something that's really making a difference for humanity, and something that you're already part of in a way that is quite extraordinary. So anyway, grab the PDF if your heart calls and let us know. And we'd love to share with you and get you an application.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay,
Let's
so
continue.
hey, some more sharings. So a number of people's waving, saying hi and blessings, and Mary writes, Namaste, beloved family of light, peace, love, and joy to you all at this incredible, magnificent I am time.
Oh, breathe that one in. Yeah.
You got it.
Woohoo.
And lots of rainbows and hearts as we enjoy and celebrate our gifts of alignment.
In every way. Thank you for that reminder.
And Leslie shares, healing the universal wound, refers to a teaching, is really helping me just keep going. And I'm honored to be here now with you all.
Leslie, great reminder. Healing the universal wound is one of the ensoulments. You can actually put that in a search feature at our website and find it. Thanks for that reminder, Leslie.
And Bhatia writes, things are moving so fast, staying steadfast is the key.
And is that not the foundation? Steadfast commitment, focused awareness, complete trust. And wait till we get to the rest of this show. You're going to be like, yeah.
Oh, I just want to take a breath here. Because... All right, beloveds. Owl123 shares, oh my God, I can't tell you how grateful I am to both Shri and Kira. You guys are carrying this for us in such an extraordinary way. Thanks. I am with you all.
You know, I don't know who you are, but I want to share with you on a very personal note. I was sharing with Shri this morning that I had a very strong vision that involved the owls again last night. And I feel like you wrote that for me. And I really needed to hear that in this moment. So you're making me cry. Thank you. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful. And yeah, I just bought that the other day. And right behind me here are all of my staffs, and I have my owl feathers everywhere. So thank you.
And Purple Sparkle Felicity shares, as I connect with the divine galactic blueprint,
yes.
I am experiencing all my love and peace I give and hold for others reverberate to me.
Yes.
Helping me rise.
Yes, yes, and yes. Thank you, Angel.
Thank you for your sharing.
Oh, yeah. And thank you for your caring. And so bringing our hands to our heart, let's dive back into September. Now, I'm going to share with you right now, and when I do, I'm going to share with you the full ascended numerology, and I want to invite you to just go ahead, and as you're gazing at this, let me make it just a little bigger. Oh, too big. Okay, there we are. Give yourself a moment to just, as Shri is modeling so beautifully, with your hands on your heart. When I did this ascended numerology, I remember, and it's happening right now, for me, it immediately takes my breath away. It makes my heart chakra pound, because really look at what's going on. And this is happening right now. And what's so powerful is look at the human form and look at the lotus chakra. That's today. And let go of when it happens on the numerology. That right now is where we are attuning so that we can stabilize our ascended presence. And look at that root chakra. Look at that second chakra. That's peace and that's love, right? So if we look at the entire month together, the first thing you're going to notice is what? We have the 6, we have the 6, and we have the 12, and we have a double infinite. September is a 6. 2022 is a 6 plus our first infinite. September 2022 is what? It's a double 6, which means we have a lifeline. And you see that we have literally split the clock in half, and that the activities can be unifying or polarizing. And so I'm just inviting you to let go of your left brain, because this is the month where your divine mastery presence, where Shri is so beautifully modeling, where really breathing in through your heart, really gazing, really trusting yourself. And if you have any questions about this, pop them in, just get them to me. Also remember that this is published every month in the Sedona Journal. So if you subscribe to the Sedona Journal, you can always get this with my full sharing for the month. Although in these shows is when we're getting these expanded updates. So I want you to look right now, knowing that September 2022, which is when this week, is going to see us. And I'm going to stop this share for a minute, because the only way I could describe it is, it's like we're going to be going, right? It's just the only way. We got the 6, the 12, the 6, the infinite, the 6, the lifeline, the 6. It's going up, it's going down. So what does that mean? Well, remember, what is the 6? The 6 is the master standing like this. And that master was on that September calendar, reaching out, being able to weave, ever present with the arms up as the chalice, right? But the 6 is also the one that can carry too much too quickly. There is so much pressure on this September. We are in the greatest pressure cooker there has ever been. It's all coming down to this month. And it's all coming down to just, we're at that final leg of the race. We're tired. There's a few people left that are still giving you water at the line. Your shoes will make it, right? Your breath is going to come in. You're getting that second wind because that's what's required right now. And that second wind comes, and I'm going to show it to you in living color. The second wind comes when you let go of the fear dimension, when you clear the blockages from your cosmic prime meridians. And so it's first about going, well, what the heck's a cosmic prime meridian and what the heck's fear dimension, right? Yeah. And so the cosmic prime meridians, the star consciousness, please go to Facebook or go to Official Stream Care YouTube. Watch every one of those little short, extraordinary gifts that have been given to you every day this week. Catch up and continue, right? The fear dimension right now is that which congests and prevents your cosmic prime meridians from opening. It's the judgments that we were talking about earlier, right? It's that judgment day experience. Did you want to jump in, Sri, before? Because I can just keep going, guys. I can tell you that.
So the thing I think I want to just kind of bring us back for a moment is that the energy of who you are becomes, you call it warped or manipulated by the emotionality of things that you've identified with.
Right.
So judgment is a way of identifying with a point of view, is it not? And saying that's the only way, and therefore I judge.
Right.
And so all of this chakra energy gets distorted by our emotions and our judgments.
Exactly.
Until we become conscious of what we're doing and we begin to relax that.
How nice is that? Right. So breathe that in. Because remember that September, everything that September is saying is that it's about power. So whenever it's all about power, at the end of the day, when it's all about power, and this is all posted on our website. If you go to streamcare.com, you can read this all and learn more and stare more at that ascended numerology. But remember that power arises as the manifested activity through the energy of choice. And the pyramid of peace was not even a thought in our mind. And yet, if anything, is going to invite the power of authenticity, integrity, saying we will take everything we are and put it in a visceral, tangible form to say, do you not get it? Do we need to get on our knees and beg? You are at a critical moment, and your ego is what will force humanity to do this again. We are at a moment where we are able to manifest our activity through the energy of our choice. And the bounty of this month can be almost daunting. There is so much available, and it's all about not letting your ego, your mind, your emotions distract, right? Because remember, it's the infinite presence in August that we're still wrapping up right now as this one is reunifying with mastery, soul, essence. This is that leap of self-trust. This is that invitation. This is global minga. This is why these 30 days are here. It's our gift to you. It's our gift to the world. Because my angels, when we move through this moment and arrive at October 1, which is a real clashing of the gong and, blowing the trumpets moment, right? October 1. I'm almost humbled. I'm too humbled to even talk about it. But Sri and I have been called by the Ascended Mastery to release and to teach the Ascension Arcana. And we will begin this process in October. And this is powerful because it means enough of us have collectively arrived into the I am here as the sea of neutrality, outside of the judgment and the energy of what many perceive as Judgment Day. So I want you to bring your hands to your heart. We're going to take in a big, deep breath on that. And before we go any further, Sri, let's just make sure we don't have any questions, because I know even hearing those words can be kind of an interesting thought provoker.
No, we're good.
All right. So taking in a deep breath and expanding out. There you are. Yeah, I want you to really feel that. Just give yourself the gift of that. When Sri and I had the blessing of saying yes to Archangel Zadkiel, what feels like yesterday, and to really begin and to remember that the very first thing that we publicly taught was how to live in the fifth dimension. And this was back in 2003. One of the gifts early on was that every day, and I know Sri remembers, we would be doing ensoulments every single day. This is when we were still living in Boulder, when we were up in Colorado, and we were every day, and it would be longhand, and I'd be gone, and Sri would be transcribing and asking questions. And those of you that have read our books or are connected with the ensoulments know that they're often guided by the questions that Sri would ask. And what's important to remember here now is that we are now at the moment where the seventh dimension is very readily and easily available.
Yes.
And it is necessary. And let me share with you the deeper reasons why and I'm going to take it really slow and ask your questions. Okay. If you go to official Sri and Kara YouTube channel, just type in collapse of the fourth dimension, and please watch our video, because this happened many years ago. And when the fourth dimension collapsed, there was a lot of interesting energy that came forward with that, as we talked about in that video. And through that collapse of the fourth dimension, the third dimensional frequency became smaller, smaller, smaller. It was like living in a balloon, right? And it brought us to now. This all brought us to that 2015 initiation of the escalator. Right? From 2015 through 2021, we were on this 7-year journey of experience that would prepare humanity to see if we could go beyond 2021. We walked into January 1, 2022 in a potentiality where we have never gone this far before. And that can be a big pill to swallow, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of a challenging thing.
Yeah.
So knowing that, really relaxing into that, just play with us for a moment, right? Just pretend if you need to. Every breath, we are already beyond where we've ever gone before. So rather than seeing it as, when are we going to implode? When is the shoe going to drop? That fourth dimension has said, hey, man, we're really liking living this way, because the fourth dimension, especially the realms of the fourth that are more compacted into the third, is where all of the spiritualized ego resides. It's where all activism is born, bred, and sustained. And the fourth dimension is very satisfying to the ego. It is because the fourth dimension collapsed into the third dimension, because the third dimensional ego has become disproportionately out of control, which is witnessed by many different factors, that the fourth dimension has started inflating. So I want you to hear that. So now, because we're outside of where we've ever been before, and I pray that you've seen the 7 polarities of free will, and that you looked at all of the prophecies Sri and I put out, and I hesitate to use that word. However, we need to, because 100% of them have come true, and we're actually alive to witness it. And that's obviously why we're here. And so we are really imploring you to notice that the judgments are becoming greater, because Judgment Day is already here, and it is within thee. Judgment Day is before you. It is the day when you are able to gaze within and release the grip of judgment that will seek to make sure that everything you do will stay within a certain realm of consciousness, to be heavily supported through the vast majority that is seeing through a reflective lens and putting it upside down. Some call it Kali Yuga. It matters not what the labels are, right? All labels need to go. And so through that moment, Sri and I arise essentially to trigger every judgment you have ever had when you are before us. And I say that with a smile in all due sincerity, to literally live in the 24 beingness of ascended presence in this potentiality is a challenge because it is seen as being very, very raw, as being very non-filtered to those that are still living in masks.
Mhm.
And in a world where the mask is gorgeous and beautiful and co-created, and where in this potentiality we enjoy that, right now, the judgment is looking at you and saying, remember to lift from that fourth dimensional egocentric spiritualized arrogance, which is at an all-time high and literally reinflating the fourth dimension, thereby corrupting the entry levels of the fifth dimension, where many are rising through false prophets and false energy and false claims, because that polluted bottom of the fifth dimension is a very beautiful space. But it's because of that, and here's the gift, that the seventh dimensional availability is so easy, and that the ninth dimensional availability is there as well. I've been living there for quite a while.
Yeah.
And so this is that moment to love yourself, to wrap that compassion around yourself enough to sustain the fifth dimensional presence, where you can relax into trusting you, to trusting what you know is right, to staying the course, to receiving that which is needed to hold your higher presence, so that you can stand, releasing all judgment in the ascended awareness of all that is, and the smile that ignites the illumination of witnessing the witnesser of the witness, so that you may sincerely carry the energy of that creation into the law of instantaneous manifestation.
Mm.
And this is why October 1 and what we're getting ready to share matters so much.
Yes.
And Shri, as you want to share, I'm seeing we're getting tons of comments.
Good.
Okay, please.
I want to add something, because sometimes we need to bring
please.
our minds along to,
And I don't live in this dimension.
with a little bit of understanding, we can
Yeah.
relax the ego's grip.
Yeah.
When we are lacking understanding, the ego has ample territory to get its tendrils in and pull you into repetition, pull you into what the ego sees as comfort, because it's predictable. Even if it's painful, at least it's a pain we've seen before. Therefore, I like it.
Habit of the pain of the pain.
That's what
right?
the ego does.
Sacred Union, The Journey Home, read it.
So when we talk about judgment, I want to make sure, I want to just add this nuance for all of you. Moving into the fifth dimension is about anchoring compassion. It's about compassion and clarity, being able to see more clearly than before. Moving into the seventh dimension expands that clarity through the release of judgment. Now, some people, one of the thoughts that comes up in my head, well, how am I going to get along if I can't judge what's good and bad and right and wrong and all of that?
Wow, there's density, right?
That's a density.
That's very
habit.
density.
That's a habit of the mind of density.
Habit of the pain.
So what I'm wanting to share is that for that mind to relax, it's important to recognize that when the love of the fifth dimension is applied toward yourself, as well as all, what previously might have triggered a judgment can then be brought into consciousness as a discernment of what is wholesome or not at a particular moment. That means we move out of reactivity and judging into a more refined state of being, where wisdom and love create discernment that guides actions.
This is the law of instantaneous manifestation. That's what the pyramid is. Shri and I went out one night and we sat there and we were so clear that no matter what, without knowing how it was going to manifest or how it would wind up, we just knew it had to be. That's the essence of the instantaneous manifestation and the trust, right?
Yeah.
And Shri, why don't you, we have such beautiful sharings.
Sure.
All right, we're going to hear from you. Let's respond to you guys right now. It starts right there.
Hey, Suzanne, very profound explanation of Judgment Day. Thank you.
Let's bring our hands to our heart, because there's so much in motion in the world of density around that languaging.
Yeah.
And we are in that month to really let that harmonic wave anchor. Why not, as many of us as possible, stand? Because to go in the seventh, you have to stand up and claim it.
Yeah.
And so how about as many of us as possible stand and let's dance. Let's hold hands and have fun. That's the intention during all of Peace Week, and certainly when we begin here.
And so Iris shares,
Hi, Iris.
this looks and sounds amazing for this September. It is my birthday month.
Hey, hey.
I am just getting into weaving and was born under a full moon. So this is saying something big to me.
Well, Iris, I gotta I'll give you a little skinny, okay? It's my birth month. It's Jess's birth month. It's Dana's birth month. I mean,
Wow.
it's crazy what's going on. So yeah, we're all paying attention.
We're celebrating lots.
Indeed. Thank you, my love.
All right, Astaria.
Astaria. Hi, Astaria.
She reminds us, as Archangel Zadkiel said, judgment is fear with an attitude.
Now breathe that in, because that's exactly what it is. And fear with an attitude is density consciousness.
That's it.
And it's very much spiritualized ego. And we are at a moment, I cannot stress this enough, spiritualized arrogance, people believing that they have reached the top after having done virtually no work. That's that fourth dimension. And it's taking it, and it's got money, it's got funding, and it's got a agenda and a lot of manipulation. So trusting ourselves,
Yes.
lifting and claiming is the gift.
Yes. And Kyla also repeats what Astaria said, fear plus attitude equals a judgment.
Well, there's that sacred formula. Fear plus attitude equals a judgment. And that fear is that fear dimension we were talking about. And there's a whole bunch of attitude wrapped around it, which is why we are at a judgment moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so all of these things in the outer world serve as distractions.
Yeah.
And as long as you're holding presence, they can be fun.
Right.
But at the moment you allow them, you immerse within them, then they are commanding your consciousness.
Exactly.
And the moment that fear is unexamined,
Right.
then we give away our power.
Exactly.
And so all of these things that are happening in your world, our world, the shared experience are there to remind us to choose.
So breathe that in, because as we were mentioning earlier, this right now, September, this is the, oh, it looks like there's a storm coming, but we still have time. You know, that's what September is. And remember that 2023 is sincerely going to be the storm. And for those of you that are already feeling the call and know that this is going to be a moment where that storm is the greatest gift ever and know how to navigate it, we are so excited that New Year's Eve was our whole New Year's. It will be our first installment live from the pyramid. We must limit it to 17. We heard that clearly, even though we have space for more. So get to ShriandKira.com. It's on the homepage. Be there. Maybe somebody can offer you guys a link. Download the PDF. Be here live if you can, because we're very clear that it needs to be the gathering of the 17 masters. And so this 2023 moment, and that's the gift of right now, that's the gift of September, when we get together for our very first Monday Mastery in September, and I pray you're all there, we will be anchoring this potentiality in ways we have not done before, coming together, learning more practices. Remember, the chalice is weaving.
Yes.
Very beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time to be alive and to be awake. And as we cultivate our integrity, to be in alignment, to be that authentic being, much falls away and much comes forward.
Exactly.
All right, more sharing.
All right.
Suzanne says, thank you. Fifth, but still bouncing up and down between 5 and 7.
Of course.
I like when I can live in the 7 for a little bit, but I haven't been able to anchor there.
And that's okay. That's why we're having these conversations. That's why I had to go through anchoring there a couple of years ago, because we are all holding for the next, right? And to demonstrate that in this potentiality, we're not on trajectory the way that it would have been optimal. However, we are still on trajectory to achieve the greater experience of keeping this one going, of expanding out beyond, of really calling in the solutions and all the things that can be done, no matter what it looks like, no matter how close to the brink you think that this world may be. It's because it's forcing you to get clear. You must make a choice. Make your choice, and then stop wobbling. And every time you wobble, you love yourself more, which sustains that higher frequency.
Well, that's just where I was going.
There you go.
How many of you have seen the 2-year-old open and close the cupboard door? How many times was enough? I don't know, but enough is enough.
Right? Learn it.
It's enough when we say to ourselves, enough of the wobble.
There it is.
Enough of the pain.
Right. Enough of these ridiculous habits. Remember, it's the habit of the pain of the pain. And so only you can say enough.
Yes.
Today I drew my lines, enough. Yesterday I had my realizations, enough. The books that Shri and I need to get out to the world must be out now. And that is all I am doing, is making sure that happens, because that is what matters most, so that all of us can sincerely say yes, so that all of the knowledge can be offered and received and put to work so that we can all thrive.
And so I want to add one more little nugget on that.
Please do.
So when we're wobbling, whether we're wobbling into a victim moment or whether we're just moving and we're in compassion and then suddenly we notice we're in judgment.
Right.
It doesn't matter how refined your wobble is. What matters is that you take a breath, you smile and say, thank you.
Yes, thank you for showing me. Thank you for revealing.
Gratitude will dissolve the edges. Then you choose again, because your upliftment happens in an instant. You don't have to effort your way there. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to show your papers.
True. It's all right here, and you've got it, or you wouldn't be here now.
All right, a few more sharings.
There we go.
Valdeve shares, oi, all this flailing about of the fourth, it's best to just pop up in the seventh and stay there.
Yes, but here's what it takes. It takes the courage to really live your authentic presence, regardless of any flack to what might be left of the egoic self. So breathe that in, and then you smile bigger. Because what that does is it takes you very quickly from the 7th to the 9th, where we become the witness again, where the Cheshire Cat grin emerges and everything comes forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got a sharing from Akil.
Hi, Akil.
Saying, sitting in a literal storm right now.
He's over in India. Hi, sweetheart. We're holding you.
And I'm keeping my eyes on the oneness and reclaiming mastery.
You know it.
There it is.
You know it. We love you so much. And
look through the debris.
Yes. Now, speaking of looking through, everything we've talked about today, I wanted to share with you. You might have been noticing over Shri's head. I'm going to turn our camera just a little bit. There we go. There you go. So I hope all of you can appreciate what you're looking at right there. Freddie Rocano, who did all of the beautiful murals here at Tosa Blue Mountain, he recently redid my entire office space here. And he said, Kira, I've had such strong visions. I want to paint a window for you of Tosa. And so what you're staring at here are the Compadres Mountains. That is exactly what the Compadres, which is the view from the land where people are going to be moving, are rainbows. We have rainbows at least once a week. At least we literally live in a rainbow valley. The colibri or the hummingbird, that happens to be the giant hummingbird. That is our plants. That is our tree. Those are our benches. I mean, that is literally Tosa Blue Mountain. And so just wanted to offer you a moment of that.
Thank you to Freddie.
And oh my gosh, Freddie. Yes. And those of you that will be coming here, of course, will get to meet Freddie and see what he has done. We really are the Wizard of Oz. We really have gone from that into that colorized version of everything coming to life here. You
know, there's so much natural beauty, and then there's so much reflection of the natural beauty through the art of Freddie Rocano, and also through the carvings of Geraldo Tigre, who has carved every dead tree.
We now have a tour.
Has been brought back to life.
And now he's doing the stones, right? These
and
three
now he's
we
carving
found,
stones.
Right? So when you get down here, you'll have a lot of fun. But whether you're with us in person or whether you're with us on the air, whether you're with us on Zoom during any event, may your heart know that what Shri and I sincerely intend each time we are together is to transfer back to you the blessing of being here at what we really feel is an arc for crystalline light on the planet, especially with this pyramid, a place where peace still reigns, where we have over 62 varieties of native edible plants, where we have identified over 80 species of birds. We are here saying, you are the gift that this planet has waited for. Your conscious awareness is ready. Choose wisely what you listen to. Choose wisely where you focus your attention. And at the end of the day, remember, you are as I am. We love you so much.
Namaste, beloveds.